I pledge to increase the number of businesses and companies that start up here and that operate here. Generations ago, the creativity and hard work of the people of Polish Hill and of Pittsburgh built the great businesses and industries that were of the 20th century. Today, there are men and women working in this city who are just as creative and hardworking, trying to start small businesses and launch entrepreneurial projects. Despite their hard work, despite their creativity, this region has one of the lowest, very lowest rates of startup creation. We must reverse that trend. City government, in order to reverse that trend, must be an active and engaged partner. City government must make sure that its tax rates do not adversely affect small businesses and startup companies. City government must actively and strategically recruit clusters of industry to our city to both attract and hold population. We need new and innovative businesses alongside of those that have been here for centuries, so that we don't have to watch your children and my children move away as they get older. For Pittsburgh to thrive as a city, we need a city government that's going to encourage people to migrate to Pittsburgh and to invest in our community. We need a city government that will actively recruit people, and I pledge to be a tireless advocate for this city and this region, luring individuals and companies from Latin America, from Asia, from Canada, from Europe. Every other thriving metropolis in this country has a growing population of immigrants who are staffing, who are starting innovative and creative companies that are creating good-paying jobs. And it's about time that Pittsburgh joined that trend. No one will locate here if taxes are too burdensome or unpredictable. And I pledge to put Pittsburgh's financial house in order. Just a small project, right? Just a small project. But really, that's an important part of this. People are not going to move to this city if they're not clear about what's going to happen to the finances of the city, because that burden could come upon them in the future. So I pledge to get Pittsburgh's financial house in order. The first thing that we have to do is get a clear and honest picture of the revenues and expenditures associated with operating the city government. The next thing that we'll have to do is align those things with the future vision for the city of Pittsburgh. And that will obviously require difficult choices. And I certainly have a record of doing that and being a part of those types of projects. Now, some will argue that we can't create financial stability in this city without help from Harrisburg or without taxing nonprofits. And as I've said for years, we need first in the city government to show that we can begin to solve our problems before we turn to the help of others. Pittsburgh must also become a safer city, both in reality and in perception. And I pledge that as mayor, I will get tough on crime, and we'll talk about that. And I will dedicate myself to every day to driving the rates for both murder and violent crimes towards zero. And again, some will argue, the pessimists particularly, will argue that this is not possible without help from the state. And again, I say that city government must show that it can responsibly help itself before it turns to higher authorities. We must also carefully plan for the future in this city. Over the last few years, this administration has systematically undermined the function and the importance of the Department of City Planning. The end result of that undermining has led to the decentralization of planning and less of a focus on the public good. If we are to grow small businesses, jobs, and population, we must actively plan for the future. We must start to look and think about utilizing further and in much better ways the existing and already available space, filling businesses and people to create that density that we need to have a vibrant and vital community. We have to stop using public dollars to support development projects that benefit only the developers. Finally, we need to guarantee that our rivers are the envy of the world, both aesthetically and functionally. Throughout history, Pittsburgh's reputation has been built upon its rivers, and the same must be true for this generation and future generations. So this is the Pittsburgh that we want. Now is the time for vision and for leadership. Let us seize this opportunity and carry the message across the city. As we knock on doors, people will undoubtedly say, so who is this guy, Patrick Dowd? Right? Who is this guy? It's a good question. I would answer the question in a couple of different ways. I'd say I'm one of you. I'm a Pittsburgher by choice. Like the people that moved to this neighborhood a century ago, I came here because I saw opportunity in Pittsburgh. I moved here to work and to earn a doctorate, and I did that. I met my wife, who also moved here to work and earn a doctorate. Together we saw opportunity. We fell in love in Pittsburgh. We got married in a Pittsburgh church. We renovated, or we bought first and continue to renovate. We got a long way to go. But we continue to renovate an old Pittsburgh house. And the thing that really troubles me is that we have seen our cohort from school and our friends from the neighborhoods choose to live in other cities. They choose to move away. And it's really, that is one of the things that is driving me on this mission. We have to stop that. Lanny and I chose to stay here. We chose to raise our 5 children here. We chose to stake our claim in Pittsburgh. We want other people to do that. We're not here by birthright. Let's be clear about that. I am here and we are here by choice and for love of this city.